Assalamualaikum. Now I have decided to go through the grading scheme because many of you have questions. So let's get this clear. Before you can complain, before you say anything, I want you to watch this video carefully and then you can complain, okay? The important thing, okay, so I wanted to go through the grading scheme with you just to make sure you understand. The thing is, what we grade, or rather, we grade what you have written. What you have written is what we grade, and it's based on what is supposed to be answered. So anyway, straight away, now, so this was a midterm you did, and these are the questions. So I want to start away now. The first question here was A, that's part A, part B, part C. So it means A is 9 marks, B is 7 marks, and C is 4 marks. Now remember, whatever you've written has to be proportional. It must make sense to the marks that are corresponding. I mean, you cannot write 3 lines and you expect to get 9 marks. It's not possible, okay? You cannot, it doesn't make sense. Anyway, so what was the question asking? Test the validity of the given argument. Do not use truth tables. If x is a rational number and y is an irrational number, then xy is irrational. Suppose xy is an integer. Therefore, either x is not a rational number or y is not a rational number. Now, that question, the first thing that you must do, if you check in the book, if you check anywhere, this section, actually, this 1.6, 1.7, 1.8, that's the way I structured the exam. So, the first thing you must do is you have to formulate the argument. I mean, what are you testing validity of? You see? So, basically, this is P1, P2, therefore, the conclusion. I can say that, okay? So, you need to write that. You break it down into simple statements. That means x, a rational number, is P. Y, an irrational number, is Q. And then x times y irrational is R. So you already have 3. And then x, an integer. Remember, an integer is a subset of rational. So this means x is rational. So that means this is a new statement. Okay? No, it's not a new statement. This is a negation of this one. So this means this is, so this you already have, this you have. So this is a negation of this. Therefore, either x is not rational or y is not rational. So now we write P1 and P2, therefore Q. How do we write it? Well, we'll have P1, P and Q. This is P and Q. This is a conjunction. Then, so it implies R. P and Q implies R. And this P1 and P2. Suppose so. And negation of R, therefore this. So this, the argument is P and Q, this and this implies this, and negation of R, all that implies either this or that. Which is that? So for that, you get 3 marks. You must formulate the argument. If you didn't do that, you 0. You don't get anything. I'm sorry, okay? If you look at all the examples we did, even if I said do not use truth tables, you cannot start checking the validity of P only and Q only, and you don't look at the whole argument. That cannot be. That's why it was 9 marks. Many of you, in fact, only 2 people got full marks in that question. Anyway, so once you have the argument, now testing the validity, I was giving you 6 marks. Okay? So testing validity could have been done in several ways. One way that was very good was, if you, I mean, this argument, I mean, you want to test whether it's valid, it's a tautology. So one argument which I didn't give in the solution is, for this statement to be, I mean, suppose you want this, I mean, you want to prove now by contradiction. Suppose this statement is actually false. When will this be false? This will be true and this will be false. Implies false. That's the only time. And so that means this false, what does that mean? For this to be false, basically you have this or this, both must be false. That means negation of P, negation of Q are false. So that means P and Q, P is true and Q is true. So already, you already found the values for P and Q. Now you need to check for R to see whether that holds, is possible. So that this is true and this is false, so you can get this as false, if that is true, okay? So now, true and true, that will always be true. So true implies false, and, I mean, true implies R and negation of R. So all you have to now check, the only value you need to check is for R. So if R is false, for example, you have true implies false, okay, that's already false, and negation of that, and false is false, and false implies, what is this? false. Wait a minute, what have I said? So this is true and true. We have supposed R to be true. So you have true implies true. So this will be true and false will be true. So the only two things you needed to check was either this or this, and that will check for tautology. But anyway, so one way I was doing this way I gave you because many of you, I told you this would come somehow. This maybe I don't know whether you follow. Okay, you're using the equivalent. That I don't know whether you went through. The other way I taught you was this one. Okay, that to prove this a tautology, we use this, that A implies B is false, even only if A is true and B is false. Okay, so then you go through this. I mean, you just say now you simplify because you notice that now the argument you have was, what was the argument? The argument was telling you that you have this, and this is the same as you pull out the negation, you have P and Q, so this is just P and Q. And then you prove. I mean, I think this follows, because once you have that, then you just have that, okay, what do you have? A implies R, and negation of R implies negation of A. So suppose the whole of this is false. So if this is false, this is only when this is false and this is true. So negation of A false means A is true. So A implies R and negation of R is true. So again, A implies R and negation of R is equivalent to, because A is true. So it's just true implies R and negation of R. So for this to be true, basically for this to be true, this and this to be true, what do you need? Well, you need both to be true, basically. So this will be true and this will be true. But if negation of R is true, then R is false, which implies T implies R is equivalent to T implies false, which is false, which contradicts T implies R is true, because it's supposed to be true. So it means that it's not possible for this to be false. So it's a tautology. Now again, I repeat, many of you have your answers, you say many things, but if you are treating the argument separate, if you look at this separate, it doesn't count. It doesn't count, I'm sorry. It's 9 marks, so you have to have done that, okay? So you have to have done, you formulate the argument, 3 marks, and 6 marks for showing validity. There's nothing I'm giving you for anything else, I'm sorry. That's it, okay? Next, B. Part B, everyone got. I think no one has a problem with part B, so I will not say anything about part B. Part C also, now, part C is, I go to part C. This is 4 marks. Now, for this, you must show working. So, this one, let me tell you what I did. I was given 4 marks for this. What? You must have the working, because determine the positive integer x such that 1 plus x squared plus x cubed is 100. Now for this, you must do the working. Many of you are just telling me, oh, it's not like that. No, it doesn't work like that. So this working, I was giving 2 marks just to show this. Then I give you 1 mark for this, and then you conclude. You get your 4 marks. If you never did any working, if you just told me that, oh, this one plus this one is less, I don't see any working. I don't give you marks for nothing. Okay? So that's it. Number 2 is 4 marks, 7 marks, 4 marks. This everyone got. Number 2, I don't think anyone has a problem with this. Now, this part is where a number of you had problems, but remember, it's 7 marks. For 7 marks, you need to show all the working. So, prove that this equals that. So, you have to start with, well, I mean, a nice way of expressing it. Of course, there are different ways, but so for all x in this set, if you apply complement law, it means that x is not in this set. You remove the complement. Okay? And then now here I said by De Morgan's law for this part. Many of you just tell me this, but how did it come about? Or on the side you say the complement of B union C is the same as intersection of B complement and C complement. So from here we move that way. Then you see you have 3 sets. A complement intersection, B complement intersection, C complement with bracket. So associativity makes them, it doesn't matter the order. So by associativity we have that. Many of you didn't do that. So again by De Morgan's, means that A union B union C complement is the same as this set. So X is not in this set. So again, by complement law, this is a case. Anything that doesn't give reasons, I don't give you marks. Okay? That's that. That's what I expected for that question. Then number C, I would say only this part. Many of you had a problem with. This is saying neither one-to-one nor onto. For one-to-one, everyone did. Now onto, you must say. You don't assume. Just tell me there are some values of Y that are not defined. There's no X that exists for that. What values? You must show me. So here I gave you can say the numerator and denominator are positive, meaning that the function never gives negative outputs, meaning that R is not covered. This is one way. Or you give an example, you say if Y is minus 1, there is no X for which f of x equals minus 1. That's it. You get your 2 marks, finish. So it was 2 marks, 2 marks. This one, nobody had a problem, so I go next. This one, Now, part B of question 3 is 6 marks. Now, this one is saying if and only if. Many of you were wrong because you are only proving if direction. The thing is, this arrow means if and is both directions. If you remove this, you just put that like that, only one way, then you only get 3 marks. So many of you, and this is in your notes, by the way. So if and only if means that you suppose this, you prove this, and then you suppose this, you prove that. My proof here doesn't look like it does that, but I suppose what? I suppose the first one. I suppose this, then I prove this. Then I can go backwards. I have this, I go backwards up with this if and only if. That's one of the problems where many people had problems there. Okay, that's that. This one, many of you are not telling me. What does it mean? A is congruent to 17 or 29. What does that mean? Many of you are not telling me. So, you need to show working. 1, 2, 3, 4. You get your 4 marks for free. Finish. Then this equation, many of you didn't have a problem, so I ran. This one, many of you are complaining. How did you get 12? This is how you got it. You don't show me working, you don't get marks. I'm sorry. So again, you have 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 marks. Okay? Finish. Induction. Now, for induction, many of you had problems because you are using the wrong definition. You cannot say P of 0 equals. It's not equal. See, I'm not using equality. Statements are never equal. They're equivalent. That's another problem many of you had a problem with. So, I mean, please, guys. And then when you say assume P of K is true, what is P of K? P of K is this is divisible by 30, not just this part. This is another mistake many of you are making. Check in the book. I don't want to say many more things. I just want to go to the last one. The last one here is construct a directed multigraph with loops, 8 edges, and 4 vertices. Here, I was giving you how many marks? I think it was 5 marks or 4 marks. I don't remember now. Let me check. It was supposed to be 5 marks. And why 5 marks? Because you must have directed, so the edges have directions, multigraph with loops. Loops, not loop. Many of you gave me only one loop. Why did I do that? Because the sum of the edges must be 8. That means 2 loops minimum plus some other edges, okay, that are multis. They should add up to 8. So you must have at least 2 loops. If you want only one loop, you lose half mark. So any of these, so any graph as long as the 5 conditions hold, e.g. a square, because a square has 4 vertices, with 2 loops minimum and multi-edges and direction of the vertices. The sum of the loops and the edges must be 8. You get your 5 marks. Ladies and gentlemen, that is the grading scheme as it was supposed to be. I want you to watch it carefully and then you ask questions. Okay? There it is.